The beginning of the 19th century saw major growth in almost every aspect of society, from economy to industry and even population. Yet along with those pros came cons. Those cons were fought against not by the average person alone, but the journalists and reporters who sought to promote the change that they saw was necessary in society at the time. Muckraking, a term coined by Theodore Roosevelt during his time as president, describes the journalism that was especially popular around the turn of the 19th century that paved the way for reform and political change to happen in America. Muckrakers such as Upton Sinclair and Jacob Riis were instrumental to the development and progression of the progressive era, which brought on a myriad of reforms and modern regulations that are evident even today. Their work stood out in the sense that it went against the status quo in the pursuit of gaining nothing but the horrible truth about businesses and corporations and how they operated and affected society. One of the most notable muckrakers, Upton Sinclair, was inspired after visiting a meat factory in New England to write his novel The Jungle, which detailed the meat-making process and opened the eyes of many ignorant Americans who were unaware of the mistreatment of their food sources. Neither squeals of hogs nor tears of visitors made any difference to them. One by one, they hooked up the hogs, and one by one, with a swift stroke, they slit their throats. There was a long line of hogs, with squeals and lifeblood ebbing away together, until at last each started again and vanished with a splash into a huge vat of boiling water. His work invoked a response from Congress, who later signed the Pure Food and Drug Act to regulate and control the manufacture and production of food products in the nation. Another famous muckraker, Ida Tarbell, called out the Standard Oil Company in an expose emphasizing key points on how Rockefeller mistreated and manipulated the system in order to gain a substantial amount of profits at the expense of the people. She, along with many other muckrakers, published her expose in articles in newspapers and journals that became wildly popular throughout the country. Without the help of the muckrakers, most of the reforms introduced in the early 19th century would not have passed, or would have set back American progressivism drastically. However, the popularization of editorials and articles that facilitated the spread of progressivism helped push the momentum towards building a more modern and organized America, similar to what it's become today.